G'day everyone, welcome back to another Wheel to Wheel broadcast. We're here at Monza for our round 4 of season 7, for our first enduro of the season, 60-minute enduro. Here with me tonight is Palmer.
How you doing, Dragon?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks mate. And Dodgy on the visuals.
Hey guys, good to be here. Glad to join you for another cracker round at Monza.
Yep, so myself and Palmer and Dodgy have all done our races already. What type of strategies are you guys expecting to see out of these guys tonight?
I personally think it'll be a mix of the 2 and 3 lappers. I mean, it probably depends how much practice these guys have been putting in at saving fuel, but definitely the 2 and 3 lappers is the way to go. 2 or 3 pit stop, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of 2s. I think a lot of people might go for the 11, 11 and 9 on the medium strategy. So I think you'll see a fair few of those ones coming through. But all you need is one little stuff up and an accident, and you've got to change it up. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, alright. You never know, a 10-car pile-up could happen through the third chicane. It is Monza after all.
Yeah, righto. Gee, thanks for that. I'm going to have nightmares about that as it is, but thank you.
So I think we've got a pretty strong field for Div 5 here tonight. A couple of guys I'm going to be keeping an eye out on is Fang in the Lexus, in the 13R Autosport Lexus. DCE in that beautiful McLaren as well are the top 2 that I'm going to be keeping my eye out for. Is anyone else you guys are looking out for?
Look, Bozza in the Corvette. The Corvette's a very fast car around this track, so I wouldn't be counting him out yet. So he's definitely going to put up a fight.
Definitely.
I wouldn't go past Molten Ash either. Ash was in Privateers for a bit, and now he's joined, I think it's the Leftovers he's in, so he's out there in a Lexus as well. Yeah, he might give it a red hot go. I'd keep an eye on Ash tonight. But yeah, I'm with you too. Fang's been doing really well. I expect him to be at the pointy end, I would think, as well.
One of your fellow teammates as well, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I've got a couple in here, Fang and Oz Soul Reaper, so go 13R.
Yeah. Another car I'll be keeping my eye out for is the Dodge Viper of See Me Crash, the only one in the field. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do around here. I absolutely love that car around Monza.
Yeah, one of the Mad Turtle boys.
Very quick car.
Yeah. One of the cars we haven't seen too much of this season as well is the Subaru WRX that Frosty tops in. Definitely an outlier in the field there. Might struggle a little bit around Monza.
Yeah, the Subaru seems to be a fair bit slower on most tracks, to be honest, but I mean, the full drive is definitely an advantage off the line.
Yeah, so it's definitely a tough car to bring around this track and to choose, I think.
The funny thing about that Subaru, it's not the biggest car out there, but when you're right up behind it, it's got the biggest backside of those cars. You just cannot see around that Subaru. It's
kind of like following a Nissan. Yep. Massive. That wing helps a lot with that. It's got a massive wide body kit on that rear end of it as well, as we jump on into qualifying. Here we go.
We should see at least 2 flying laps out of these guys for qualifying.
Yeah, you would hope so. Definitely interested to see what that McLaren can do in terms of qualifying. I think that'll be its strong point. I think it might struggle when it comes to fuel saving in the actual race, but should be able to put out a cracking qualifying time.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's going to be its downfall, is the fuel consumption, but it's definitely a rocker of a car.
Yeah, we've got a couple of cars who are absolute monsters in a straight line as well, but being the Corvette and the Nissan, but you can't take your eye off the Lexus either, because they've shown in the other lobbies they're definitely one to be keeping an eye on.
DC runs a bit wide. He just hang on to it.
So we see everyone sorting themselves out, finding their spot on the track. Doesn't look like many people are going to be working together here. Everyone looking fairly split apart.
Yeah, it's a sort of mixed view on Monza. There's a lot out there, and I don't discredit them saying to qualify well at Monza, qualify with a mate. So find a guy, stick with him, use that slipstream, and just go for broke.
Yep. Here we go. We'll keep an eye on DCE as he comes through the Parabolica here to start his first flying lap in that McLaren. To hear it wind up through those gears on the run up to the line. Probably would have been a good decision if Frosty Top could have stuck in the slipstream of that McLaren, but he's been dispatched of on the outlap smartly by DCE. Not looking to help anyone else out with his straight line speed. Got a pretty good run through the first chicane as well. Keep an eye on his sector time as he comes through here. You want to be kind of in the mid 35s to the low 36s, so he's come through with a 35.2, which is a really good first sector time. That's what I was seeing out of some of the guys in Div 2 that I was practicing with earlier, so it's a great first sector time from DCE here. Little rough through the first of the Lesmos. Slides it through, takes plenty of curb on the second one to get as good of an exit as he possibly can on the run up to Ascari. Using every bit of the revs that engine can put out. Breaking into Ascari, taking plenty of curb on the inside. Small lift to steady the car, plenty of curb on the inside again as you come through the corner. And then let the car wind out down into the Parabolica. Here we go, let's see what type of time DCE is going to get here. He's got a decent run through the Parabolica as well. .47.2, that's a beautiful lap.
Wow. Nice.
Frosty Top's struggling in that Subaru.
We lose a 148. Hooligan 149.7.
A couple of 48s coming through. 48.8, 48.7, 48.2, 48.2 again. So a lot of mid 48s. That McLaren really showing its pace compared to the rest of the times, clearing the field by almost 1 second. As Flucker's run deep into turn one, that'll be his second lap gone.
Not bad though. Flucker's up in second position. P2.
Yeah, that's a good banker lap. You know, that's why you want that decent first lap, so you can try and push on the second, and even if you make a mistake, you've still got a decent time there. Oh, Fang's picked up a 1.5 second penalty as well, so that looks like that'll be his lap over. There is a little pack of 3 cars, Tooligan, Molten Ash and Bozza, on the run up to Ascari at the moment. I think Bozza might be in the slipstream of Molten Ash. I'm not sure if Molten Ash is quite close enough to Tooligan for it, but that could assist Bozza's lap hugely, as he is 8.5 tenths up on his previous lap time.
Like that Corvette needs assistance.
It does, trust me, it does. It's yeah, you know, a little bit of slipstream never hurt nobody. Except for the person you punt because you forget to brake at the right time, but we don't talk about that.
Let's hope that doesn't happen here.
Boss has got a good run through. Molten Ash has run wide, so he's not going to have slipstream on the run up to the line for the entire way. DCE improves with a 47.1, Screw Loose with a 47.5 improving as well. 48.8 from Tooligan. Bozza with a 47.4 to take second.
That slipstream worked for him.
Absolutely. A couple more cars coming through here. Doesn't look like we'll be seeing improvements. Won't be seeing an improvement from Soul Reaper. small improvement from Oscar. Oh, big improvement from Oscar, sorry. Goes up by half a second with a 48.6 to put himself in 8th as the last car to cross the line. So yeah, DCE and that McLaren taking pole position. Great job to him. We expected to see that McLaren up in the pointy end of the field. Bozza as well in that Corvette, also really good in the straight line. Followed by the third top speed car here, the Nissan in third. So we'll see if these guys can get the car off the line and how their strategies play out.
What have you found?
Strategy is going to be a big one for tonight.
Yeah. I think if Bozza can launch that car well off the line, he can be in first place by a fair bit coming into turn 1 and possibly even get away from DCE. Because I know that Corvette just rockets off the line if you do it right.
Yeah, definitely.
Go, we're all over. All set to go.
Those are some cracking times as well, getting into the low and mid 47s.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of strategy DCE goes for McLaren. I'm not sure how well he can fuel save in that car.
Yeah, hearing a couple of guys revving on the grid, I'm assuming they're not too much into fuel saving, but I guess we'll see once we get into the race.
We're on with bang at the moment, fellas, being mid-pack, starting from 5th.
Oh yeah, 5th is always my preferred spot. Here we go.
Oh.
He's had a rough start off the line. Crash has had a blinder. He's going to get screw loose. He's alongside Molten Ash here coming into turn 1. Bozza and DCE side by side through turn 1 as well. They're 3 wide behind him for 5th, 6th and 7th. Oh, screw loose getting up on the curb, getting side by side with Flucker. Oscar's going to nip up the inside there as well. Yep, relatively clean throughout the field. Great job, guys. I just realised we have a BMW in the field as well. KPL Heartstopper.
Yep.
Plenty of BMW action on screen last season, and not a whole lot of it at the moment throughout this season. So it's nice to see a BMW in the field. Back towards the front, we've got Crash that's just made a beautiful little overtake on Molten Ash. Molten Ash not looking like he wants to sit behind Crash for too long either. He's looking alongside him for any way past here.
That Viper's going to be a dangerous car around this track.
Absolutely. With the straight line speed it has, it's definitely going to be a threat. If Diswood didn't have to pull out of the league, I'm sure he would have had a cracker of a race this round. Crash has had an amazing run through Ascari. He's actually dropped out of he's dropped Molten Ash out of his slipstream, and he's been gaining on Bozza and DC at the front here. So it could be on for a really good start if he can get up in the slipstream of Bozza and DCE. And he has done.
Really gaining ground on them.
Yeah, looks like Bozza's saving a fair bit of fuel. He's actually kind of half throttle sitting behind DCE. Oh, he brakes a little late. Does make the move work. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he has made the move work and he's now in the lead.
He'll take it anyway.
Yep, claim it. It worked. Back a little bit further in the field, old Soul Reaper and Frosty Top are having a nice little battle here with Fang just ahead of them. So we'll see how the Lexus goes against the Subaru coming into the second chicane here. Soul Reaper getting a little bit of a run. He's a fair way back, maybe just pulling out to make sure he doesn't give Frosty Top a bit of a nudge. Plenty of curb throughout both of the chicanes, corners as well. Right back on that rear bumper. Oh, he goes a little deep through the first of the Lesmos. Very tricky corner, that first Lesmos. It's a blind one when you first come into it with all them trees and the metal guardrail. expect to see Soul Reaper close up on the back of Frosty Top here and maybe look for a move, but he's driving very cautiously. So, it's what you like to see.
That's a smart way to play.
Yeah. Definitely. Has given Tooligan a run on him, though.
Yeah.
That FT1.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's cautiously or just fuel saving in that Lexus, trust me.
Another car that's struggling around here right behind the Lexus is the FT1 of Tooligan. I heard from Ando that he wasn't having a great time and Tombo wasn't enjoying his practice in the FT1 either, so I think a couple of those boys might be struggling to get some pace out of it and be competitive. But they are side by side at the moment coming into turn 1. Who can be the latest of the breakers? Oz Soul Reaper breaks nice and early, lets Tooligan go through for now.
Smart move.
Yeah, smart way to play it. Sit in that slipstream, see how you go.
Yeah, no point fighting out at 3 laps out of 31, so let it go and get your slip.
Yeah. Back up the front, Simi crashes right on the rear bumper of Bozza as well. Oh, he's got a good run through the second chicane. He might look up the inside. No, he lifts off, so... Again, just some smart driving from these guys at the moment, not going for moves in spots where it can cost you a lot of time, waiting maybe till the straights, till the heavy braking zones. But Viper's looking very threatening right now. Here we go. Pulling along the inside. See as it pulls out, it loses almost all its momentum. It gets the move done. Yeah, beautiful pass there under brakes. We'll see if Bozza can latch onto the back of that Viper. Crash made up a lot of spots off the start there. I believe he started back in about 6th or 7th. So already up into 1st, showing he's got a lot of pace in that car. Oh, Flacker's off! Flacker's around out of Ascari. He might have collected someone as well. He has. He's collected Tooligan. Oh, and he can't get it turned back around either. Do you manage to get that one on replay?
Yeah, here we go. Oh, I've just missed it on the replays. Come off into the sand, and then he's come out of the sand and spun it again. So there were 2 different accidents, and it was on that second one he spun back across the track and totally T-boned poor Tooligan. So yeah, that was...
Tooligan's received both front tyre damage and front bumper damage, so...
Yeah, unfortunately that was one off caused the second one with that, so hard luck.
That's really unfortunate, yeah.
At least they didn't get any engine damage, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
they can still push through for their soft stint. I know a couple of guys have been trying to do that, trying to push through a bit of damage, run that longer stint because of how long the pit stops are now. With the recent change that Gran Turismo made. But these top 3 look like they're starting to break away a little, so DCE's caught back up to Bozza and Crash. And they've put 2 seconds onto Molten Ash. So, might be smart for these 3 to work together and try and get a little breakaway pack. But just looking in terms of fuel burn, Crash has probably about 15 litres less than Bozza. So he is wringing the neck of that Viper, while Bozza and DCE have pretty similar fuel. So I would assume that Crash is going for the strategy with that extra stop compared to Bozza and DCE.
I'm a bit shocked at that McLaren sticking up there like that. I suppose staying in that slip has got to be helping him out.
He looks to be doing a fair bit of short shifting, but man, I didn't think that McLaren would be able to save fuel to save its life, to be honest, as he sets a purple lap while he's doing it too. And he's just sitting at half throttle behind Bozza here. He even gives him a little bump and completely lifts off afterwards, so... I think DCE really enjoying his new car after having a disagreement with his previous team, we'll go with, I guess. I don't know how to put that. Parting ways with his previous team. And becoming a privateer.
I don't see many people picking the McLaren. I mean, it's a quick car, but yeah, just a lot of people tend to stay away from it.
Yeah, I feel like for this season, handling cars are going to be fairly important throughout some of our next races. And the wet race as well could play a fair part in some of the choices as well. But yeah, I feel like it might not suit some of the tracks such as Blue Moon or the Nordschleife, and that's why some people have shied away from it. But absolutely, very much at home in Monza. Like, Crash has broken a little away from Bozza as well. He's gotten out to over 2 seconds, almost 2.5 seconds ahead now. So, them guys saving fuel's definitely coming into play there in the time gained and lost, but their fuel savings also bringing Molten Ash and King Oscar up onto the rear, so there's about to be 4 of them within close proximity for that second position.
You know, if we had any of them starting on mediums, Jets, anyone ballsy enough?
Frosty Top and Ozsol Reaper both started on mediums, but looks like Ozsol Reaper's changed to softs.
Yep. Tooligan's also on mediums as well.
Maybe it was Tooligan. There were 2 on mediums. Okay, maybe it was Tooligan and Frosty Top.
There you go.
Everyone else was on softs. So it's, I think everyone might be leaving the mediums till the last stint, especially if they're doing the 11s and 9s stop stints.
And what's, just out of interest, what's Tooligan on now? Just because the same thing happened to me. I started on soft and then we had a big accident on the first lap and I had to pit to fix damage. If I had been on mediums, I could have changed out of the mediums and got away with it as doing a 1 lap on the mediums, so it would have been fine. But then I still had to go do a full stint on mediums because I started on softs. So,
yeah, so at the moment, Tooligan, he's changed onto mediums, but it looks like he's done the unfortunate thing of double-clicking and not repaired his damage in his pit stop when he slot moves those mediums. So that's a real shame, and it happens to the best of us too. I know in a practice lobby earlier, Tate managed to do that. He also managed to double-click softs, so he didn't run mediums throughout the race as well. So, I mean, it can happen to anybody.
Yeah,
really.
Well, we've had King Oscar get around Molten Ash there, but Ash isn't letting him go. He's trying to keep a hold of his slip.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a mistake from Molten Ash was there somewhere, because they've lost 2 seconds on DCE and Bozza as well. Oh, Bozza going a little bit deep into the first chicane. On a really rough line through there. DC is going to have a look around the outside, but eventually probably just going to tuck back in, I think.
We just had Ash take King Oscar again through the first chicane.
There we go. Let's bring in Screw Loose in the Nissan up onto their rear bumper as well. Oscar's probably... Oh, Molten Ash has let him know he's not going to give up the spot easy, but he has outbroken himself. They both have. Oh my god, Molten Ash has gotten reset. Screw Loose is going to take them both here. Just being in the right place at the right time for Screw Loose there. Molten Ash and Oscar both go deep, and Screw Loose just says thank you very much and drives his way up into 4th position. Molten Ash unfortunately getting reset there. Yeah, what a great spot for Screw Loose to come through right there.
Yeah, just Johnny keep out of trouble.
Yep. So it's just being the guy that runs your race, you know, not fighting too much. You can gain positions when others fight fairly hard like that.
GDR's another quick car around this track.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't discount him for a podium position.
Yeah. Looking at his fuel, he's got about 15% more than King Oscar as well. Go ahead, Dodgy.
I was going to say, I'm quite shocked to see the Aston going so well. Might be that King Oscar's at the wheel, but no one's really gone Astons this year. They were a big car in last season. Not so big this year, but they seem to, I don't know whether they've had a BOP upgrade or the others have been dropped a bit, but it seems to have a good bit of pedal behind it at the moment.
Yeah, the Aston's always been it's been good up until about 6th gear. Once you turn into 6th gear, it kind of loses it, but getting up into the top of 5th, it absolutely rockets up there. Unfortunately for King Oscar, he's burning fuel like a madman, wringing the neck of that thing, trying to get everything out of it. Yeah, we don't see too many Astons this season, which is I mean, it's a sad sight. I loved the Aston last season. It was a beautiful car to drive. So, but, you know, not too many teams going with it. Maybe people thinking that there was too many last season and just going against it, or I don't know.
It's interesting to see he's not trying to do any fuel saving in the Aston. If I remember correctly, last season it was very competitive, even when you're short shifting only halfway up the rev range. So very interesting to see him just rev the hell out of it, burn fuel.
Yeah, and with that said, he's just ticked over to have 10% fuel. That's when the fuel gauge starts flashing. And he's still got to get another lap if he wants to do these 9-lap stints, so he might have to save a bit of fuel on this lap. Because if he's burnt 90% in 8 laps, he's going to have to duck in. So here he comes in after 8.
Wow.
Maybe going with 3 8-lap stints and a 7. I think that goes to 31. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, 6. 7, sorry.
Okay, we'll get there in the end, folks.
Maths was my strong point.
So with Crash coming in at the end of lap 8, Bozo inherits the lead, closely followed by DCE, so I'm expecting to see these guys fairly close with each other for most of the race. The only thing that could separate them really at this point is if one goes to mediums for this next stint, I think, which might split them up. But DCE absolutely using the slipstream of Bozo well, saving the fuel in that thirsty McLaren. Oh, Fang's got himself a penalty as well. He's going to lose a spot to Molten Ash here. There it goes.
Yeah, I copped a penalty there, and when I went to burn it, I think it was first lap, a whole train of cars were coming past, and the unfortunate thing with the new rules for wheel-to-wheel is you've got to burn your penalty straight away. By the time I'd finished burning the penalty to take off, everyone caught me right on that Lesmos corner coming out of it. So it was really hard to try. I had no speed coming out of the penalty, and all those cars at speed just had to get on the anchors behind me. It was really
Molten
tricky.
Ash has picked up one as well. He's going to have to burn this before the corner or he might get in trouble here.
Just take his spot back.
He's burning it in the braking zone, which we've had a couple of guys, I think, get in trouble for. This Fang gives him a flash of the headlights too, letting him know he's not happy about it either. So Fang might have a run on him here into turn 1. He's got a really good run on him. Molten Ash has whacked the left indicator on to tell Fang to go there. Fang has taken the inside anyway, and he's going to get the move done before the 150 board, before the braking zone anyway. Beautiful move by Fang there. See if he can hold it into... Oh, Molten Ash has got a little bit of dirt on the exit too, so he's definitely going to be able to hold it into the second chicane now. That's a scary moment too. I had a moment like that in my race as well. Just got on that power a little bit too early out of the first chicane, and around the car went. Luckily I was able to save it with about a half spin and the 2 tyres on the grass, but it gave up a position to ZD and ultimately cost me 3rd place, so...
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. But if there's anyone I'd lose a place to, ZD's alright for it. ZD probably one of the most outstanding personalities of the league. If you're about in Discord, you'd know. He's always sticking his nose in everywhere, really.
Definitely a character, that's for sure.
One of many characters of Wheel to Wheel.
And you should know very well, Dragon, that you don't give give Ziti the place, he would have taken the place.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Come on, he fought hard,
When he tells the
got you
story,
well
that's
and
how
good.
it'll be.
Yeah.
I'm the one telling the story. Looks like we should have a couple of guys coming in. Oh, DCE coming in. So I thought he would go around one more time with Bozza, deciding not to. Screwloose following him. Fang and Molten Ash and Heartstopper will also be coming in. Looks like Soul Reaper should be able to make the 11 laps work. He's still got about 20% fuel, so doing really well on his fuel at the moment.
Did Fang stay out?
Yeah, Fang stayed out, so he's gone for 11 laps as well.
Oh, that's...
His fuel's flashing.
He's going for 12, isn't he?
He's got a whole lot of oversteer. That's how I lost the place to Ziti right there. Just a little bit of oversteer like that, and rough time getting back on track.
Yeah, I don't think those Lexus like the 12th lap on softs, so it's going to be a very skatey lap around for Fang, but I think he's capable of holding it, touchwood.
11th lap, isn't it? Am I wrong?
11th, is it? Yeah, sorry.
11th, yep. Oh, he might have got a penalty there. He cut a lot of the second chicane. We saw him get a penalty earlier, and there's another one, so he's going to have to pull off to the inside and burn that one real quick. Probably the best place to get a penalty on this track, to be honest. As he just burns it on the run up to Lesmo 2, you lose the least amount of time there, rather than getting it on one of these massive straights. But I am shocked to see Fang went around one more time, as his fuel gauge was flashing about halfway through the last lap, so...
Yeah, I know.
But he's making it last. Yeah, absolutely, and he's doing it. He's making it last. Soul Reaper is probably going to be coming in this lap, if not going for 12, as his fuel's not even down to 10%, but... Jump on board with Bozza and keep an eye on that when he comes in this lap and see where he comes out in terms of Semi Crash. Expecting to see Semi Crash take the lead back here. Just 26.5 second gap between the two. Sounds like a lot, but with these new pit stops, it can go either way.
26, I thought it was about a 40-second pit stop for tyres and full fuel.
It might be, but there was 26 seconds between Bozza and Crash when Bozza came into the pits, so...
Crash is going past the pit exit now.
Bozza has just been released, so... Yeah, wow. Screwloose and DCE both jumped him as well, and that's about a 7, probably almost 8 second gap to Crash now.
Yeah.
And even DCE's pulled almost 4.5 seconds, but he's only fueled to 75%. So that can be very telling of his strategy here. That's, so he ran a 10-lap first stint. Maybe he's doing 7s till the end? He is on mediums at the moment.
We've got King Oscar giving Bozza a hard time at the moment. He's trying to jump onto that slip and keep it.
Yep, King Oscar also running the shorter stints, coming in on lap 8, so he's not going to want to be held up behind Bozza saving fuel for long. You see that Aston just pulling its way up towards
Here he goes.
the Corvette.
A bit late. Oh.
Wasn't not going to give it up into Ascara. He pulls the car up nicely as well to hold the position. Oscar should get him here. It's a long run down to Parabolica. What I would recommend doing is waiting and doing it into turn 1, but because if you pass into the Parabolica, someone can just come back at you into turn 1, but he gets it done beautifully. Both guys leave plenty of room. Oscar's going around the outside to take it back, though. He's not giving up the spot for free. Beautifully driven by both men there to allow plenty of racing room. Here we go. Oscar trying to make it happen again. Oh, he's lifted off. So Oscar, I'm not sure what Oscar was doing there. He pulled in alongside him and lifted off early.
The old Aston did have a little bit of understeer. Sometimes it didn't like taking corners too shallow, so yeah, maybe he was best off just lifting and going back out for the wide line and get the exit rather than lose it on the entry.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe deciding that it's better to sit behind Bozza for the moment, see what his speed's like, see that they're gaining on Screw Loose and DCE up ahead. I think Screw Loose has made a mistake on that previous lap as well, because he has lost a lot of time to DCE. It was a 53 his last lap, so he's on the mediums. Both DCE and Screw Loose are both on the mediums as well, so a couple of guys getting their mediums out the way early. A lot of people on mediums at the moment. So Molten Ash, Fang, Tooligan's still out on the mediums, Flucker also out on the mediums, and then DCE and Screw Loose. So over half the field currently running on them medium tyres.
Interesting to see them run it on their second stint.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a fair few different strategies coming through here. A couple of 8-lappers, a couple of 9-lappers. Screw Loose is in to get off them mediums on lap 12. I think that's a 4-lap stint, or 3 on the mediums, so...
He didn't put those mediums on after his pit stop on after the damage on lap 2 or 3, did he?
No, that wasn't Screw Loose, that was Tooligan.
Oh, Tooligan, sorry.
Who I believe we'll see in this lap as well, off them mediums with a flash with fuel gauge. I don't know if you want to risk that on an F2-1. There we go, ducks into the pits, 7% fuel remaining. We'll get that damage fixed up. Flucker's managed to pick up some front left and front aero damage as well. Really unfortunate race for Flucker. He does have some really good speed as well, so he's just unfortunate to have a little bit of inconsistency come through every now and then. Back up in that battle for third as well, King Oscar's gained another half second on Bozza to get towards that rear bumper again. Oh, almost loses on the exit, but still in that slipstream well and truly.
I think he should play it smart here and just sit in his slipstream. Save a bit of fuel because that Aston is thirsty, and it doesn't look like he's trying to save any fuel, so it'd definitely be the smart way to play it.
Yeah, I agree there. It looks like he has short shifted a little bit through Ascari there. He's shifted about 3/4 now. So yeah, using there we go, lifting off as well. So yep, he's taking your advice perfectly there. He's started to save a little bit more fuel, maybe trying to get that 9th lap out of the tank.
Must be listening to the stream.
Went alive, so
yeah.
How he's doing that? He's got some magic ears. Here we go. Oh, he pulls alongside.
Oh, making a move.
Go this time. He's up far enough.
Get the nose in front. He's... Oh, Boss has done a great job to hold that around the outside again as well. That's some beautiful defensive driving by Bozza and great racecraft from the two of them again. Making sure there's plenty of room for both. Back in the battle for 7th, or 6th as well. Fang and Soul Reaper are fairly close together, teammates as well, so... Fang being very cautious out of turn 1. Soul Reaper getting a good run and closing up on the back of Heartstopper in that BMW, which I know struggles on top end speed a little more than the Lexus as well, which is it's a hard task in itself. Oh, he's closing right up on that rear bumper. Gives him a little bit of a nudge right at the last second. You can see turning in to try and avoid contact. Gives him the nudge anyway. No damage, only a light tap. I don't think Heartstopper ran too deep either, so... But Soul Reaper definitely making his intentions known that he's not looking to sit behind this BMW for long.
Here we go again. He's
pulled it off.
He's given plenty of room on the inside through the middle of the chicane as well. Beautiful move by Soul Reaper there. I held my breath a little bit as he went up the inside. I thought they were going to come together.
Even I was clenching for that one.
And that's going to put Heartstopper in the grasp of Fang as well, and now just 4/10 behind. So with a good run through the Parabolica, we could see Fang making a move up into 7th position as well. Being a little late on the throttle there, so Heartstopper with the slipstream going to pull a little further away. So no, I don't think Fang's going to be able to get that done into turn 1. Does Heartstopper have enough of a run to get the spot back from Soul Reaper though?
Oh, that's ballsy.
No. He pulls out just to maybe just to see his braking markers a little better. Oh, Molten Ash is off. He's off on the infield just there out of the first chicane.
No.
Oh, and the auto clutch is screwing him over, trying to get going again as well. He's lost a lot of time there.
Bring that one up, fellas. Here we go.
Hopefully we got
him
that.
coming across the along the straight now. He's just hit the braking zone. He's coming in. He seems to be on song. Oh, he's clipped too much of that first in, and then just gassed it too much coming out. Ended up on the grass. So yeah,
So easy.
nothing to it. Just overgassed it. Too conscientious.
Yeah, that's unfortunate again. So easy to do. I did it myself in my race. Molten Ash losing a fair bit more time. As he rejoined, he was trying to give it a little bit of throttle to not spin on the grass, but the auto clutch that Gran Turismo has might have hurt him a little bit there, as he was just revving at the top of the second gear and not going anywhere. Crash in on the end of lap 16.
Very frustrating when that auto clutch engages.
Yeah, there should be an option to turn it off, honestly. It's bloody annoying. Alright, so that Mad Turtle Racing Viper sitting in the pits. I will say, sitting in the pits now feels like it takes forever. It sitting there, hearing the cars go past you, it sucks.
Very frustrating, but look, I think people are really giving more thought to their strategies.
Just coming out.
He's going to come out right in that battle we were watching. Yep. Bang's going to get the spot there. Frosty Top a couple seconds back. And Crash is not going to want to sit behind these guys for too long, being on that shorter stint strategy. So I think he's going to be one to watch here. He's probably not going to be sitting behind Fang and Heartstopper for too long.
Not with those fresh tyres.
Oh yeah. Revving the car all the way out too. Here we go, looking up the inside of Fang. Doesn't go for it, maybe just tries to take Fang's eyes away from his braking marker, play them little mind games that you can in racing, give him something to look at in the radar and the rearview mirror. Oh, you can just see all the extra grip he's got. Whoa, he goes well wide through there. Fang having to burn a penalty. And Crash is on his way to chasing down Heartstopper now.
Sometimes just sitting in someone's rearview mirror is all you need to do. Put a bit of pressure on and they'll make a mistake.
Absolutely. So you're having someone that I know is an aggressive driver behind me definitely gets in my head a little bit as well. Thinking, are they going to go for the move, and then if they brake a little late, they get close up
behind him? No, he kept it.
No, he's barely held on to that. King Oscar in the Aston Martin, he's managed to stretch that out to a 9-lap stint. So sitting behind Bozza smartly there. In that beautiful Vodafone Aston Martin. Pit boys drop it, he's back to sitting in that pit box forever.
Frosty's in.
Oh my gosh, where's King Oscar going to come out here? There goes Molten Ash.
Here he comes.
Is he going to be able to come out in front of Screw Loose? I think Screw Loose might get him in the braking zone here. Oh, he's going to get him before it. So King Oscar filling the tank all the way up to the brim, chucking on the mediums. So you'd expect maybe a 7-lap stint here, and then softs till the end, maybe a 6-lap stint, depending on how he's worked that out. Back on board with King Oscar. That gap to Screw Loose is now just down to 1 second. So he's already just reeling him in. I will say I definitely enjoyed being on the faster strategy, being able to chase guys down and make passes, but was told by Team Boss that the fuel saving strategy was the way to go, so I decided to go with it tonight. Man, it feels good to be able to just reel people in and pass them though, even if it is because of lighter fuel load and some fresh tyres.
I found it quite frustrating watching guys that were a lot slower than me, pulling fast in lap times just because I was trying to save fuel, so...
Absolutely.
Definitely
I mean, you got the last laugh, but being, what was it, 50 seconds ahead of your lobby, I believe?
Yeah, about 50 seconds, roughly, so...
That's incredible effort. Yeah.
Just shows
Soul Reaper's in.
Important.
Absolutely. Soul Reaper's in, Crash is about a 10th away from Slipstream on Heartstopper as well. Absolutely not saving fuel at all in that Viper, bouncing it off the limiter on the downshifts for good measure to burn every little bit he can. Now just half a second up to Heartstopper.
Done well to work his way back up to 4th and potentially 3rd position now.
Oh yeah. Them fresh tyres are working wonders for him at the moment. We're just going to see where he balances out in terms of him, Bozza and DCE, I believe, is who he's really racing against at this moment. In the long term, I mean. Here we go. He's gotten a run on Heartstopper. He's got a better exit out of the second Lesmo. He's tucked into that slipstream. He's got plenty of straight.
Take it.
Swings outside. Under brakes. The BMW good on brakes, but the Viper getting it done. Them fresh tyres just helping out. Oh, as he runs all the way out, clips a bit of dirt for good measure. DC's in off his mediums. Bozza looks to be staying out. DC coming in with not a lot. Yep. So that gives him 12 to the end?
Yep.
Is my math correct there? Yeah.
I think he burned a bit too much fuel. He's only got 3% left, so
that's
might be the reason.
Yeah. 12 laps on a tank in a McLaren. I feel like that's a fair bit to ask of the car
just
to the end.
He'll have to stop again.
He's brimmed the tank, so don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see. It's with the longer pit delay, you don't want to have to be coming in for a splash and dash, though.
No. And you'd think you'd probably spend the extra 3 seconds to get fresh tyres just for good measure.
Yeah. I think if it got to the point where I realised I couldn't do the full 12 laps on it, I'd probably pit with about 5 laps to go and just go all out for it.
Puts Bozza in a very good position though. He's 19 seconds ahead of Crash, and he looks like he's on target to get to lap 22.
Yeah. DCE right up on the rear bumper of some of the guys who haven't stopped yet as well, Fang and Molten Ash. So even though DCE has been saving fuel, I'd expect him not to want to stick around with these guys too long and want to catch up to Bozza, as he's been running at the front for a majority of this race. He's saving that fuel, lifting off behind though. Maybe waiting for a better time. Here we go, that McLaren widen up.
And Molten Ash are both on mediums as well, so that's going to be slowing them down.
Yep. Heartstopper in on lap 20, so that leaves 11 laps to go. I don't think he's used his mediums either, so... Here we go. DCE, he's rolling off it, so he's using Molten Ash to save fuel. Might be the smart decision, trying to get them the 12 laps out of the tank. and saving that extra fuel behind these guys on mediums.
I would have expected Fang in that lap, if not before.
Oh, he's got a penalty. He's got a big penalty to burn as well. Man.
That's hard luck. He's copped a few tonight. I think that's changed up his strategy a bit.
I think he's got about 4 at the moment. That's rough. Oh, and then he's gone deep into the second chicane. Oh. Oh, no, don't go around. Save it, save it, save it. Whoa.
I'll bring that back up, see what we can do.
I thought he was going around there. That was, man, currently in 7th now, so...
He's coming along.
He's almost spun on this end of the second, first lesmo as well.
Yeah, he's overcooked it. We're in the replay, and he's hit the sand and just saved it from coming around. He's just missed screw loose, and King Oscar's right past him too, so it's unfortunate for Fang.
And just as we went for that replay, coming through the first lesmo, he's gotten squirrely and clipped the inside wall as well, so this has not been a great lap for Fang on those mediums, and I'd expect to see him in at the end of this one without a doubt.
Yeah, is he carrying damage? The front looks a bit worse for there at the moment.
No, he's actually managed to avoid it, luckily.
Good
stuff. But definitely expecting to see him in, as well as Molten Ash. There's Molten Ash in. Screw Loose and King Oscar go by. Fang's looking in. Here we go.
Have to be looking at all but stops now, so it'd be getting close to seeing it crash, but in one of the few left to stop because he's doing did he stop earlier? I think he stopped earlier on a different...
Whoa, as he goes deep into the second chicane too. Wow.
Saved that.
Oh my gosh, these guys are gonna give me a heart attack. So we'll see Bozza in this lap on the 2-stop strategy to do his mediums run. I think we'll see Crash in on lap 24 to switch to his mediums, as he's been doing 8-lap stints. So that'll be 7 on mediums to the finish for him. So I think that actually puts him 18 seconds behind Bozza on track, with both having 1 stop to go.
And then you've got DCE, which is going to have another stop as well, maybe. Unless he can stretch it to 12.
If he can make that fuel last, then I think he'll be right up there with Bozza.
Is he
Bozza's in
at the moment?
DC is saving a fair bit, from what I can see. He's shifting it about halfway up the rev gauge with a little bit of lifting coast. Where is Crash going to be as Bozza comes out the pits? So I'm expecting to see Bozza just absolutely fill the tank here. Start revving the car out on those mediums.
DCE's going to have him by the look of it.
Yep.
Screw Loose could possibly... Oh no, Screw Loose is in.
Here he comes out of the pits now as Bozza.
That in 3rd.
So King Oscar might get him here, but King Oscar also has another stop. Oh, he might get him. I don't think he's gonna. No, he's gonna be right on his rear bumper though, on some medium tyres. So I think we might see... Oh no, Oscar lost me on his strategy when he pitted after a 9-lap stint, so he last came in on 17, so he does have 1 stop to go. Don't know when that will be though. Not sticking around though. Straight away looking up the inside of Bozza. Getting it done, stopping it on the apex to make sure there's no cutback or anything like that. You don't want to go deep and give the spot back like a dumbass, as I've done many times. Tooligan and Fluck are in for what should be their final stops.
Looks like Bozza's still saving fuel. He's changing gears pretty early, but he filled up all the way, which is interesting.
Yeah, so shifting at about... So he's barely short shifting, which is about what you need to do, which is what I found. He probably doesn't have to do too much lifting coast. Might be doing that because he's close to King Oscar, but he can definitely rev that Corvette out to probably about the gear number on his screen now to get the maximum power out of it. up to about 75% on the rev gauge. So what's the gap? 20 seconds the gap between Crash and Bozza. And DCE is 9 seconds up the road from Bozza. So if DCE can make that 12-lap run work, then he might have had a masterstroke here.
I think that's going to be a big ask, especially considering he ran short on his last stint.
Yeah, I did see a couple of guys in the practice earlier doing 12-lap stints. They were not in the McLaren, but I did see Smurf running 12s in the Yeetle, so...
That Yeetle's not bad, though. You've got the 7th gear in that to help you out.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, it's looking like he's at about 60% fuel, so I think he might be able to make it work. Them tyres might be a little bit secondhand towards the end of it, but might be able to make it work. Frosty Top's catching up to Screw Loose as well, back in the battle for 7th. So that's Subi finally making some ground on something, and it's Godzilla of all things. Or the T-Rex, I should say. They're also not too far behind Molten Ash. And one thing I did find in this race is you want someone to drive with. You don't want to be just lapping by yourself, because that's where I ended up for probably half the race, and I was bored out of my mind. Just lapping Monza by myself as we see Crash come into the pits here.
This will be his last stop.
Yep. Should be on switching to mediums as well.
DCE is definitely passing.
If he can pull off the 12-lap stint, he's got this one in the bag.
Yep. And he's on his 6th lap now? Yeah, this is his 6th lap now, and he's at about 55% fuel, so it could be really close. He might have to heavily fuel save towards the end to make it work, but he's got 10 seconds to play with. But another thing...
Medium stint?
He did his mediums after his first stop.
He's starting to look a bit slidey, though.
Yeah.
Skating around a bit.
Yeah. Another thing that could play in his mind is he's got King Oscar, who's on a different strategy behind him, running faster lap times as well. So you might see some time getting chunked out of him and think, oh no, someone's reeling me in fairly quickly. Could play in his mind until Oscar stops.
It'll be interesting to see when King Oscar stops. He definitely need to stop for fuel.
Yeah, he is on the mediums, so he'll probably... I'm guessing he's going to switch onto the softs, but at what point, I have no idea. Because he pitted on lap 17. So this is lap 8 on them mediums. I wouldn't be running too much longer on them.
I'd be pitting this lap if I was him.
I wouldn't want to be running too long on them
trying
mediums.
to catch up with Screw Loose back there as well. He's only 0.4, 0.3
yes.
behind. So he's
Come on, Frosty, do it for the Subi.
Wringing that Subi's neck trying to get there.
I doubt that G will be cheering on the Subi after last season, but come on, the Subi. He's having a look. He's trying to get in Screw Loose's head. He's gone a little deep into the corner. Come on, little Subi. I thought he was gonna... Oh, he's ducking into the pits. Boo! I'm not supposed to boo the own broadcast anyway. Oops. I thought Subi was gonna take some spots there. Oh, bugger. So DCE being on those softs has actually pulled another 6/10 to Bozza. Again, we don't know how much he might have to fuel save towards the end, or how much heavier he'll have to fuel save towards the end, and when King Oscar's going to pit.
Or the cliff that those softs will drop off.
Yeah. absolutely. He's actually done a fairly good job looking after him. They're not looking amazing, but they're looking probably about as good as 7-lap softs could in a normal person's hands. I mean, obviously, the Tyre Wizard oil in my blood could probably have them looking a bit shinier, but that's the Tyre Wizard.
He's doing very well at the moment.
Yep. Crash with just 10 seconds to Bozza as well. So that's another gap to keep an eye on. They're both running till the end now. It looks like Crash has put on a second set of mediums in his last stop, rather than switching to the softs. Possibly a double-click mistake, but yeah. Oscar staying out another lap as well.
Yeah, Bozza's slowly reeling him in. You see it creeping down bit by bit.
Yeah, so he's put in about 4/10 on that lap, but he loses a fair bit through the first and second chicane. As he gets a little bit of a slide on and can't get the power down there, so what he gained throughout that last lap he's pretty much lost right there. I'm just at the moment I'm just waiting to see when King Oscar blinks, when he decides to pick, because this is now his 10th lap on these mediums and they are not looking pretty. Whoa, as he gets a massive slide on. So I can just see him in the braking zones. He's scrubbing his tyres a little bit and he's going a little deep into corners, but I would not want to be spending any more time on them mediums after seeing how he's going under brakes.
Boz has got him. He's 2/10 behind.
He's pulled out of it. Yep. So yeah. Scara usually a tricky place to pass into and get a good line through, so just backing out and looking for the run up to Parabolica. Here he goes. Whoa, bit of a late move from Oscar, but all is fair. He backs out and concedes the place. De Bozza knows he's got another stop to go as well. No point fighting too hard for that one. I'd expect to see him duck in this lap, as he has. His fuel gauge has just started flashing. There we go. So we get a 4-lap sprint on the softs from King Oscar. He's going to drop a fair way with the fuel up. He might be back in, maybe 7th, 6th, as Fang's picked up another penalty, as I saw just skipping through the field. He's picked up a fair few of those. He's doing a little bit of what I think it was Contagious was doing last season at La Sarthe. I think every time I would spectate him, he would just have a penalty, and I would watch him burn it and go around another corner and pick up another penalty. So it was a really rough run for Contagious. I think he did it in the off season as well. So King Oscar coming out in 6th with Soul Reaper right behind him. So Soul Reaper. He's got a chance at the spot here. King Oscar on them fresh softs though.
Yeah, he might make a place, maybe 2 if he's lucky, but I think without any pit stops from those guys in P1, 2 and 3 at the moment, he's not going to get close to them. There's way too much time there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it looks like everyone's got a fair bit of fuel except for, who did I see? Screw Loose has a fair bit of less fuel than most of the cars around him, as does DCE. So DCE with about 25% fuel to last 3 laps. Now coming across the line.
He had 12. So
yeah.
Guys are looking very warm.
Making it work. Making it work though.
Even if he loses a second or 2 a lap, he's still got 11 seconds on Bozza, so at the moment you'd think DCE's got to have it.
He's played it really well, has DCE.
No way in hell.
I mean, as has Bozza and Crash as well. No, I'm right there with you. I would have lost the house. got to bet my house on either the Viper or the Corvette beating that McLaren around here. But man, that's it. That's a cracking drive from DCE to get 12 out of that. I don't think I could have done it in the Corvette. After every stint, I was coming in with about 4% fuel, if that. So no chance I'm making 12 laps.
Getting to 11 laps was enough of a challenge, so 12, there's no way.
Absolutely.
That just shows doesn't matter what car you're in, the right driver can make it work.
Definitely. As I'm sure a couple of the top split boys have proven to everyone else here who's like, yeah, it's too difficult, I don't like to do it, and they just go out and beat us by 30 odd seconds.
Yeah.
As we see Soul Reaper still hanging on to the back of King Oscar, just half a second behind. Soul Reaper's he's quietly built his way up throughout the field throughout this race. He's done a good job.
Pulled away from his teammate. That's probably because Fang keeps getting penalties, but it's 10.5 second gap.
I think Fang has lost at least 10 seconds burning penalties, if not more.
Yeah.
They're also not too far behind Screw Loose and Molten Ash, so this could turn into a battle for fourth. As Soul Reaper picks up a little bit of dirt on the exit there.
Screw Loose got enough fuel to get through. He was getting a light on at one stage.
He's got about the same as Molten Ash, yeah, so he doesn't have a lot. King Oscar has the most of this kind of group, but I think he should have plenty to make it. If he's got about a quarter of a tank for 2 laps, yeah, should be plenty. I think Oscar's overfueled a fair bit. Oh, here he goes, Screw Loose having a look, not able to do it. The brakes of that Nissan not good enough to outbrake that Lexus. Molten Ash does run a little deep through the second part of the chicane though. Just gives Screw Loose another chance to have a look here. King Oscar seeing that battle right in front of him with 2 laps to go, knowing he's on fresh tyres. I bet he wants part of that.
Yeah, you cannot come within the reach of those tiny little arms of the T-Rex, because once it's that close, it'll reel you in and get straight past you, that thing.
Oh yeah, good run through these Lesmos, and I suspect Molten Ash is large. There we go. Well, he does get a little loose on the exit of the first Lesmo. A little slow on acceleration out of the second one. Molten Ash has actually got a really good exit there. He's almost broken slipstream, but the Nissan doing Godzilla straight line things. King Oscar's caught up to him. Oh, he's lifted off. He's thought about a move. He is half a second purple on the fastest lap of the race, is King Oscar right now. He is flying. He's probably just lost that having to roll off a bunch through Ascari there. But King Oscar was on track for a 47 at that point in time. And Soul Reaper behind him just 3 laps ago set that fastest lap of the race as well. So here we go. King Oscar right on that rear bumper of the Nissan. Try to get as good a run out of Parabolica as you can. Both cars are probably going to pass... there, he still goes purple. Both cars are probably going to pass the Lexus. Who's that coming out of the pits? I think that's Flucker. That's a back marker. Screw Loose is going to get the move done. Oh, no, he's not. Molten Ash is trying to hold it around the outside. Doesn't give Screw Loose a whole lot of room. Get a little concertina effect and everyone gets real close. Now this brings King Oscar in for the run-up to the second chicane as well. Screw Loose looking around the outside. Molten Ash not giving it to him. Screw Loose looking up the inside. Molten Ash taking that back up. Where do you go? Is the track 3 cars wide? Oh, Oscar might have just snuck a spot there. No.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
Shut the door. Well done, Screw Loose.
Soul Reaper's got the run on Oscar now. He's looking up the inside. He's not going to go for that, but my gosh, Molten Ash showing some beautiful defensive driving here. And we do have DCE, we'll stay on board with this battle, but we do have DCE coming around the final corner right now.
They're going rubbing a bit. Yep.
Yep, there he goes. Now can Soul Reaper go further up now and take another spot off of that Nissan? Oh, he does get a bump! Oh no! And Oscar got reset as DCE takes the win with 9.2 seconds to spare. Bozza coming across the line to claim a very well-earned second place. Crash in the Viper for Mad Turtle Racing taking a beautiful third position there as well. We'll see Screw Loose not able to get past Molten Ash after that massive battle they've had. He's got a great run on him here.
It's a great last
Less than 2 tenths separating him. Soul Reaper's going to take 6th after Oscar got reset, unfortunately. Oscar's going to take 7th. Fang, after many penalties, is going to come home and take 8th position. Runs out of fuel before the line for good measure. Heartstopper in that BMW is going to come across the line to claim 9th here. Frosty Top in the Subaru is going to claim 10th, keeping it off the bottom spot. Beautiful job, Frosty Top. And we have Tooligan coming up to the Parabolica in that FT1, running out of fuel, as it should be, to claim 11th place. Flucker already finishing for that 12th position, unfortunately, after that massive spin we saw from him. As we see Tooligan come across and claiming his 11th place here. Great job to all the racers. And congratulations to DCE, Bosma and Crash. A 57.54. It's a beautiful race time as well.
Yeah, definitely a good race time. That was an exciting race, guys. I was on the edge of my seat.
What a last lap between the guys fighting for 4th there as well.
Yeah.
That was incredible. We might see a couple of incident reports come out of it, but I think all should be fine there. Man, what a race. That was incredible.
Yep, so we finished up. We had DCE coming in first, as you said, in the McLaren. And then we've got Bozza, Crash, Molten Ash and Screw Loose, the top 5, followed by Soul Reaper, King Oscar, Fang in 8th, Heartstopper in 9th, Frosty Top Tooligan, and bringing up the rear, unfortunately, after that spin was Flacker. So, 12. Did we miss someone there? Did we have more than that to start with? No.
No, Vanquish was a no-show, unfortunately.
That's right, unfortunately. Yeah, so it was
right.
a great race done by all, fellas.
Absolutely. Yeah, wow.
Okay, well, on that
Still
note...
processing the last lap.
It was a big one. I might let you wrap it up, Super Dragon. We'll get this thing booted home.
Absolutely. Well, just another congratulations to DCE, Bozza and Crash for the podium. A big thank you to my fellow commentator, Palmer.
Thanks for having me. It was a great race.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you to Dodgy for the visuals and also co-commentary.
Mate, I was happy to be here.
Alrighty, thanks everyone for watching. We will see you next week.